The world stopped when Caitríona Balfe, the elegant star of Outlander, stepped forward with a revelation no one wanted to hear. Her voice, usually warm and composed, carried a tremor that sent a chill through fans everywhere. In just a few words, she confirmed what had only been whispers until now: heartbreaking news about Sam Heughan. For years, Sam has stood as the embodiment of resilience. To fans, he was more than an actor. He was Jamie Fraser, the romantic warrior who conquered time and destiny. Off-screen, his charm and strength made him an icon, a beacon of Scottish pride, and a figure who seemed untouchable. But beneath the bright lights and polished appearances, Caitríona's announcement revealed a truth that shattered the illusion. Sam was not invincible. The statement was short, but its impact was global. Caitríona didn't sugarcoat. She spoke with the honesty of someone who had carried a secret too heavy for too long. Sam is facing challenges, she began, her words careful but laden with emotion. And it's time the world knows. Instantly, millions of hearts sank. Speculation had lingered for weeks. Observant fans noticed Sam's absence from certain events, his subdued expressions in interviews, the way his energy seemed dimmed. But loyal followers brushed it aside, convincing themselves it was exhaustion from filming, or perhaps just the toll of constant travel. No one imagined it could be something deeper, something so serious that Caitríona herself would break her silence. The chemistry between Sam and Caitríona has always been legendary, their friendship a cornerstone of Outlander's magic. That bond gave her words extra weight. She wasn't just a co-star relaying information, she was a confidant, a sister in arms, someone who had walked with Sam through the peaks and valleys of fame. And now, she was the one chosen to confirm the truth the world dreaded to face. The reactions were immediate and overwhelming. Within minutes, social media exploded with messages of shock, heartbreak, and unwavering support. Hashtags like #PrayForSam, #StayStrongHeughan, and #GlobalPain trended across continents. Fans from Scotland to America to Japan lit candles, shared artwork, and poured out messages of love. But beneath the solidarity was a gnawing fear. What exactly had Caitríona confirmed, and how bad was it? Caitríona's choice of words was deliberate, enough to acknowledge the gravity of the situation, but vague enough to leave the details in shadows. Was it a personal struggle? A health crisis? A devastating blow to his career? The uncertainty only deepened the sense of collective anguish. The press filled the void with speculation, each headline more dramatic than the last. Outlander heartthrob in crisis. Caitríona Balfe confirms Sam Heughan's struggles. Fans worldwide brace for the worst. For Caitríona, speaking out was both necessary and agonizing. Her loyalty to Sam had always been unshakable. She had shielded him from rumors, defended him in interviews, and praised him as the heart of Outlander. But now, faced with the weight of reality, she could no longer protect him in silence. By confirming the heartbreaking news, she opened the floodgates, not just for the media frenzy, but for the tidal wave of empathy and sorrow that followed. The timing made it even more painful. With Outlander approaching another chapter, fans had expected celebrations, premieres, and behind-the-scenes laughter. Instead, they were handed grief. It was as if the very foundation of the series, the partnership between Sam and Caitríona, had been shaken. How could audiences watch Jamie Fraser stride across the Highlands with strength and courage, knowing the man behind the role was battling heartbreak in his own life? And yet, within the despair, there was also something profoundly human. Caitríona's announcement stripped away the veneer of celebrity, revealing Sam not as an untouchable star but as a man, vulnerable, fragile, facing struggles like anyone else. For many, that made him even more beloved. The pain was real, but so was the connection. As Caitríona's words echoed around the globe, fans found themselves asking the same haunting question: what comes next? Was this the beginning of a long, uncertain battle? A temporary setback? Or was it something far darker, a chapter that could alter Sam Heughan's life forever? The world waits, breath held, hearts heavy. Because when Caitríona Balfe confirms heartbreaking news, it is no longer rumor. It is truth, and that truth has left millions of fans standing in the shadow of grief, united in global pain, desperate for hope. The aftermath of Caitríona Balfe's revelation rippled across the globe like a stone dropped into still water. The news didn't just spread, it detonated. What she confirmed about Sam Heughan became more than a headline. It was a shared grief, a collective ache that transcended borders, languages, and cultures. Fans gathered online in virtual vigils, posting messages of strength and love. Some lit candles and shared photos. Others posted videos of themselves reading lines from Outlander, offering them as tributes to the man who had brought Jamie Fraser to life. In Edinburgh, supporters reportedly left flowers near Sam's favorite haunts, while in New York and Los Angeles, fan clubs organized meetups to stand together in solidarity. The pain was no longer confined to a single community, it was global. But as the flood of support grew, so did the storm of speculation. The vagueness of Caitríona's statement left a vacuum, and into that vacuum rushed the full force of rumor. Some outlets suggested Sam was grappling with a serious health battle. Others whispered of mental strain, citing the pressures of fame and relentless schedules. A few tabloids even dared to tie the heartbreak to personal entanglements, painting lurid pictures of strained relationships and hidden sorrows. The truth, whatever it was, became blurred in a haze of conjecture. What could not be denied, however, was the emotional toll. Caitríona, now cast unwillingly as both messenger and protector, found herself at the center of the storm. Reporters hounded her at public events, microphones shoved into her face with questions about Sam. She responded with grace, repeating her call for compassion and privacy, but her eyes betrayed the weight she carried. For years she had been his closest ally, the one person who could share the pressure of Outlander's global success. Now, she bore the burden of his pain as if it were her own. For Sam, the silence was deafening. He withdrew from public view, his social media accounts going quiet, his presence at fan events cancelled with terse explanations about personal matters. To those who idolized him, the absence spoke louder than any words. Here was a man who had once seemed larger than life, suddenly unreachable. It was as though Jamie Fraser himself had disappeared into the mist, leaving behind only questions and longing. The industry, too, felt the tremors. Executives at Starz and Sony Pictures debated behind closed doors. Could Outlander survive if its leading man faltered? Should production schedules be adjusted, contracts renegotiated? Publicists worked frantically, balancing honesty with protection, crafting statements designed to quell panic without revealing too much. The delicate machinery of Hollywood was grinding under the weight of uncertainty. Yet even amid the chaos, something remarkable happened. The world rallied. From casual viewers to die-hard fans, people found unity in shared compassion. Hashtags became movements. Stay strong, Sam. Banners appeared outside theaters, at conventions, even projected onto buildings. His story became not just about celebrity or scandal, but about humanity. About the reminder that even those who appear invincible can carry silent battles. Still, the darker side of fame lingered. Tabloids circled like vultures, digging into Sam's past, desperate to unearth skeletons that might explain the heartbreak. Paparazzi camped outside his known residences, hoping for a single photograph to sell. Every scrap of information, no matter how trivial, was twisted into a narrative. Fame, once his ally, now felt like a cruel enemy. And yet, through the haze of pain and speculation, one truth shone clearly. Caitríona Balfe's loyalty to Sam was unshakable. She had not abandoned him to face the fire alone. She stood beside him, not as Claire to Jamie, but as Caitríona to Sam, friend, confidant, protector. Her voice carried his pain to the world, but it also carried hope. He is strong, she reminded fans in a follow-up message. He has faced challenges before, and with your love, he will face this one too. The words resonated like a battle cry. Fans clung to them, repeating them in forums, printing them on posters, weaving them into songs and tributes. They were more than reassurance. They were a promise that Sam's story was not yet over. And so, the world waits. Waits for his return. Waits for clarity. Waits for the day when Sam Heughan will step into the light again, Not as a figure of heartbreak but as a man who endured, who fought, who rose. Until then, the pain remains, a global ache that binds millions together. Because in the end, Caitríona's revelation was more than news. It was a reminder of the fragile humanity behind the fame, and the unbreakable bond between two co-stars whose lives will forever be intertwined. And though the truth has brought tears, it has also brought unity. In the silence that follows, one question lingers. When Sam Heughan rises again, will the world be ready to see him not just as a star, but as a survivor?